Old Trafford is breathing again, the noise is back, the belief is back, and the first time in a long while Manchester United are walking into a Premier League weekend knowing that everything is in their own hands. Saturday lunchtime brings Tottenham to the theatre of dreams, and with it another chance to prove that this recent run is not a fluke, not a luck, but the start of something real under Michael Carrick, the legend. Welcome back to our YouTube channel United Top News that mainly brings you inside the news about the club as usual. 3 wins on the bounce have changed the mood completely. Manchester City were beaten, Arsenal recently are beaten, Fulham were brushed aside. Those results didn't bring points only, they brought confidence, quality and sense of direction. United have climbed up to the 4th place, sitting just 5 points behind Aston Villa in the 3rd and 6th behind the City in a second. For a club that looked lost earlier in the season, that shift feels massive. But the Premier League never allows comfort. One slip, one bad afternoon, and everything can change. Failure to beat Tottenham could see United drop as low as 6, with Chelsea and Liverpool waiting eagerly for any sign of weakness. The margins are thin, the pressure is real, and Carrick knows that the momentum is something that must be protected at all costs. The good news for United is that Tottenham arrived in a poor form. 6 league games without a win has left Spurs fragile, searching for answers and struggling for confidence. On paper, this looks like a golden opportunity for United to make it 4 wins in a row and tighten their grip on the top 4, but football is never that simple, especially when key players are missing. United will once again have to dig deep because the treatment room is still busy. 3 first-team players remain unavailable or doubtful, and each absence brings its own challenge. Martin Delight's situation has been one of the most annoying. The Dutch defender has been sidelined for 12 matches with a persistent back problem, robbing United of leadership, composure and physical presence at the heart of defense. His recovery has been steady but cautious, with no risk taken. Carrick has made it clear that a return against Tottenham would come too soon, despite the progress being made behind the scenes. The light is improving, ticking boxes and moving in the right direction, but United will have to wait a little bit longer. The hope inside the club is that they will be back sometimes in February, ready to play a crucial role in the final stretch of the season. Mason Mount's absence feels different, less long-term but just a disturbative. The England international picked up a knock in a training and was forced to miss the Fulham match. His energy, movement and intelligence between the lines have been valuable in Carrick's system, and his availability for Tottenham remains uncertain. There is optimism, though Mount is not far away, and the feeling is that his return will come sooner rather than later. If all goes well, the away trip to West Ham on February 10th is being looked at as a realistic comeback date for United. Getting Mount back quickly could be vital in maintaining intensity during a packed run of fixtures. Then there is Patrick Dorgu, whose injury has been the hardest blow of all. The young Dane was in inspired form, playing with confidence and freedom, making an impact that few expected so quickly. His performances against the top opposition hinted a breakout moment, and then it all stopped. A hamstring injury picked up against Arsenal initially looked minor, possibly cramp, but further checks revealed something more serious. Now United are facing the reality of being without Dorgu for a significant period. At least 2 months on the sidelines in the current expectations, with April penciled in a possible return. It's a cruel setback for a player who had fought rhythm and belief, and reminder of how quickly football can change. Despite there is no sense of panic around Carrington. If anything, there is quite confidence. This team has shown a resilience, adaptability, and hunger. Players have stepped up, roles have been embraced. The system is starting to make sense. The wins over City and Arsenal weren't accidents, they were statements. Saturday's clash with Tottenham is about more than 3 points. It's about protecting momentum, sending a message to rivals, and providing that this version of Manchester United is built to withstand diversity and possibility. Injuries may weaken the squad, but the belief can strengthen it again. Old Trafford will be ready, the crowd will sense the importance of the moment, and while the light mount and Dorgu may not all be there on the pitch, their return is coming. The road ahead is tough, the table is tight, but the first time in a long time, United look like a team moving forward together. If they get past Tottenham, the season opens up in front of them, and suddenly what once felt impossible starts to feel very real again. On other side of the story, around Old Trafford feels different right now. Not loud in a chaotic way, not disparate but focused. There is a sense that something is building quietly behind the scenes while results on the pitch are starting to catch up. Manchester United are winning again, climbing the table and doing it without panic in the transfer market, and that calm approach may soon give them a major advantage, especially with Liverpool watching closely. The recent run has changed everything. 3 straight Premier League wins against Manchester City, Arsenal and Fulham has reshaped the season. United are now 4th in the table, closer to the teams above them than the ones chasing behind. Confidence has returned, belief has followed, and Michael Carrick is getting real responses for the squad he inherited. Suddenly, the noise around emergency signings had faded. January came and went without drama, no big money deals, no late night deadline chaos. United chose patience, sticking to a long-term plan instead of reacting emotionally. That decision became easier after Robin Amorim's departure earlier in the month. Few expected an interim head coach to gamble heavily in the market, and Carrick was happy to work with what he had. The time helped. Brian Mbeumo returned from AFCON. Ahmad came back sharper and hungrier. Sil Mazarawi added the depth and the balance. Instead of feeling short, United suddenly felt complete enough to compete, and the result backed the feelings up. But while the club stayed quite publicly, working continued behind the closed door, United recruitment team never stops, and one name has been carefully monitored and ahead of the summer window. Right back Leipzig Yanni Diomande. Diomande is not yet a household name in England, but inside football cycles he is highly rated. Quick, intelligent, technically gifted, and fearless in one-on-one situation, he fits the exact profile United have been moving forward. Young, hungry, and capable of growing into a top-level player rather than being bought as one. Leipzig's motto is familiar: develop talent, showcase it, and sell at the right time. Liverpool are also aware. They admire Diomande, and in a straight fight, this could easily become classic tug of war between two rivals chasing the same future star. But this is where United's secret weapon comes into a play. Michael Carrick's rise has changed how United are viewed by young players. There is a clarity now, a clear style, a manager who understands pressure but he communicates simply. Someone who has lived the Manchester United experience and knows what it takes to grow inside it. For a young player choosing their next step, that matters. Diomande wouldn't be walking into a chaos, he would be walking into a project that's already moving, a team that just beat City and Arsenal without needing flashy signings, a dressing room where opportunities are earned, not blocked by egos, and a club willing to wait for the right moment instead of forcing moves. Liverpool may offer stability, United offer something else, a chance to be part of a revival, not just a continuation. Of course, the present still matters. Tottenham arrive at Old Trafford next, and the stakes are huge. Spurs are struggling, winless in 6 league matches, but United know the danger. One bad result could undo weeks of progress. Chelsea and Liverpool are close enough to punish any slip. Michael Carrick, we all will have to navigate the challenge without key players that like Martin Delight remains sidelines with his back problem, now missing 12 matches as I told you earlier. He is improving, taking step forward, but a return is still likely later in this February. Mount is closer, recovering from a knock picked in training, with hopes he could be back by the West Ham game. Patrick Dorgu's injury is the most painful, ruling him out until at least April after a serious hamstring issue halted in his breakout run. Yet, even with the absences, there is no fear. United have learned to adapt, others have stepped up. The system has held. And that's why the summer feels important already. No desperate, no frantic, just well timed. If United keep winning, keep climbing, and keeps showing young players that this is a place to grow, not just survive the battles like the one for Yan Diomande start to steal and they fall. Not because of money, not because of history alone, but because of direction. The season is still alive, the table is tight, the margins are thin, but the first time in a while, Manchester United are thinking clearly, winning now, planning ahead, and quietly putting themselves in a position to beat their rivals both on the pitch and in the market. And sometimes that quiet confidence is the most dangerous weapon of all. Thank you, dear viewers. Thank you, dear listeners. So as we come to the end of the news we had for Manchester United ahead of its game. If you are new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell so you don't miss the future news updates on this channel. Thank you. I'm your host, Dean.